Alright, we'll just get this thing fired up. Let's see, give it a minute here. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to give a little minute to fire it up and let people join in. Come here, Allie. Meanwhile, you can say hi to my beautiful daughter, Allie. Allie Cat. She's joining me. We're gonna start here in just a second. Just give everybody a few seconds to hop in live. It's been a while since we did a live on our Facebook page, but we got big stuff going on, and that begins tomorrow. I'm just looking at my phone to see if people are joining in. Give a couple more seconds and we'll get started. So the reason Allie and I are here is because we've been talking about this, so it's probably not a surprise, but tomorrow is the big day. We are about, I don't do the math, but we're at 9:30 tomorrow morning on channel 35 here on the Gulf Coast. That's Pensacola Mobile Television Market. The Biker Dad TV show debuts. We're going to be doing a weekly TV show, not live, but weekly TV show every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on my TV 35 here on the Gulf Coast. And then we're going to be posting it also at the same time on our YouTube channel. So you want to make sure, especially since a lot of you don't live on the Gulf Coast and can't receive that TV station, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, right, Allie? Are you going to be up more tomorrow watching? Yes. So we'll be live in the morning too, right before it launches. We're going to watch it as a family for the first show. We're really excited about it. We're going to watch it in the living room right before church, and we'll have a live countdown to that tomorrow morning too. So if you want to join us here live on the Facebook page, we'll be here doing that. If anybody has any questions about the show, let me know in the comments and we'll answer them for you. Hi, Jay, saying hi from Florida, and Reese from the UK. We really appreciate that. And that's what's important about subscribing to the YouTube channel. I know a lot of you are in the UK, Australia, Texas, Arkansas, wherever, and you won't necessarily be able to see the show here live on TV, but you can watch it on our YouTube channel, and we'll be sharing all that on our Facebook page in the morning too with all the links. Nino says hi from Slovenia. You know where that is? I don't either, but hi from Slovenia. Sorry, we Americans are pretty not good at learning the geography of other places, so sorry about that. I do know it's in Europe. Suzanne says hi from Virginia. That's cool. So we got a lot of people from all over the country and the world watching. Again, please do us a favor if you're watching this and hit the link that's in the description and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where you're going to see our new TV show. It's really cool. There's already a preview. As soon as you go to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, you'll see the first minute of the show, the opening of the show, and you get an idea of how cool the show it is, how well put together it is. I have another biker who works with me. He's a biker and a former TV journalist like I am, and we're working together. So for those of you who don't really know a ton of my background, I'm just looking at the comments while I do this. Hey, Grant from Australia. I know we're huge in Australia for some reason, so thank you for joining us. So those of you who don't really know my story, for 25 years I've been a television news executive. Been behind the scenes running newsrooms from Missouri to Kansas to Florida to Texas to Tennessee and here in Alabama. But about 7 or 8 years ago, when I was in Memphis, I was out riding motorcycles and going to events like I always do, and realized, hey, nobody's telling these stories. So I just started shooting the stories with my phone and a GoPro and just putting on my television station WMC's website. It got really popular, so occasionally we would do some stuff on TV too. And really, when I left Memphis WMC, I was actually considering doing this back then, but I got this job offer down here in Mobile, and a news director job is a pretty high paying job, so I couldn't really turn down the offer. But I realized when we got to a crossroads this time, 4.5 years later, it's time to do something else. Thought about, did we want to move again? Did you want to move again?
I didn't really care.
She didn't really care, but her brothers did not want to move again. Her mom did not want to move again. And I stopped to think, hey, maybe I should try this. So for at least the last 10 years, every time I've talked to somebody who's young and getting started, I tell them, find something you love and turn it into a business. Don't you heard me say that, right? Do what you love instead of working for somebody else. Well, the problem is that I thought I was too old. I had too much responsibility. I had too many kids to feed to take the chance on this. But then when this came around, when it's time for me to make another change, I was interviewing at TV stations all over the country, flying to California, flying here, flying there, Seattle, all these different places interviewing for jobs so I can have a bigger job and make more money and keep on moving up the ladder. Then I realized, hey, maybe it's time to seriously think about this. And when I thought about it and I talked about it with Allie's mom, my wife, Tonya, what I realized was, yeah, I am too old. I'm too old to keep working for the man and too old to be kept back by whether that man thinks that I'm good enough, even though I'm really successful, deciding that I'm going to keep the security of a corporate paycheck, the so-called security of a corporate paycheck, over following my dreams and being happy. And Allie can tell you, I left my job in May and you see me smile a lot more than I used to, right? So that's good. And so, yeah, I'm too old. I'm too old to keep putting up with the BS that goes on with the corporate job. Then I said I had too much responsibility, right? Yeah, I have too much responsibility to myself and to my family to not do something that I love and be happy and have unlimited success. The sky's the limit when you're working for yourself. So that's awesome. And yeah, I have too many kids to feed. I have 4 of them. And my wife depends on me too. She works too, but I'm by far the main breadwinner. I wish it was the other way around, believe me. But then I realized, hey, yeah, I have the security of this corporate paycheck, but I only have that security if the guy down the hall decides that I'm going to get a raise or that I even get to keep a job. So I decided that's not real security. And if I want to guarantee that I can feed my family, then I need to step out on my own and do my own thing and own that. And it's been extremely successful so far, believe it or not. This TV show is what's going to allow me to bring to provide for my family and not have a real job. I mean, I'm working, but I'm running around riding motorcycles and shooting stories with my phone isn't really a job, right? So we're going to have this half-hour TV show every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. and it will be posted on our YouTube channel at 9:30 a.m. on Sundays as well. And then we're going to have different little playlists where if you like different segments, then you can watch those as well. So just an idea of some of the stuff that's in the show. Every week we're traveling somewhere. Tail of the Dragon, Sturgis, Biketoberfest, Myrtle Beach. What's really awesome, and we're going to have a live interview with him next week, is I get to go to Rick Fairless's birthday bash in Dallas in a few weeks. It's the anniversary party and his birthday party. Warrant's going to be there. It's going to be a huge deal, and we get to go and hang out with him for a weekend. Stuff like that, but also traveling to other things that are a little less known. I was out in the woods in Mississippi on my bike a few weeks ago and found the Leonard Skinner Memorial out in the middle of the woods. And we just watched the documentary about that last night on Netflix. And so I stopped to shoot some video, and a dad and a son rode up on the motorcycle. Son was like 19 years old. They had ridden 3,200 miles from California the long way around to just come and see that monument. That's pretty cool. We're gonna have stories like that. We're gonna have a bike of the week every week. We're gonna have tech tips from Harley Davidson Master Techs. We are gonna have a segment called Back On To, which I think you'll love. This is sponsored by our partners, the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers, who want to tell people that, hey, these motorcycle injury lawyers aren't here to scream about how much money they're going to get you. What they care about is getting you back on your bike, and we're going to have a story about that every week. The first week is my friend Dundee, who's a member of the Caballeros Cerros Motorcycle Riding Club, here in the Mobile area. He was hit by a distracted teenage driver and lost his leg, and guess what? Just like yesterday or the day before, he got a prosthetic leg, and he's riding his motorcycle again. So that's pretty cool. We're going to have stories like that every week. And then, and actually, we're going to go to the Caballeros Cerros anniversary party here in a couple hours. If you're in the Mobile area, it's in Grand Bay, so come and hang out at that party with us. So that's going to be really cool. We're going to be doing a segment called Ride to Eat, Eat to Live, Live to Ride. We're going to check out all the cool places that bikers go to eat, because we all know if you drive past a restaurant and there's 6 or 7 or 10 motorcycles there, they got good food, right? Because bikers know where all the good food is. In news, we say the photographers know where all the good food is, but bikers really know where all the good food is. The first restaurant, if you're here in Mobile, you're already familiar with it. It's going to be Bob's Downtown Diner. My friend Tony Sawyer, who's an awesome guy, right? He owns Bob's Downtown Diner. We're going to be telling you about that restaurant. What was really cool when we were there is that there was a couple from Indiana who was just riding through the area, and they got on Facebook and said, "Where's the best place to eat?" And everybody told them to go to Bob's. So we got to talk to them about why they ended up at Bob's, of all places, from 700 miles from their home in Indiana. So we'll be doing stuff like that too. And look, we like your suggestions about what we should do and where we should go and all those things, and your videos. If you have a big rally, like if you have a rally for a veteran, or you have a cool event, if you're raising money for somebody, we want you to send all that stuff to us. If you shoot video, send it to us. We'll include it in the show. Again, yeah, it's on the Gulf Coast right now in Mobile and Pensacola, but you'll be able to watch it on our YouTube channel, so you could be featured in it. We're going to have a weekly viewer video segment, at least one every week, so that's pretty awesome. And it's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but we had some important meetings just yesterday, and there are already 3 other cities that are interested in this show. And we're going to be on Tampa, Florida for sure. The show is definitely going on the air in Tampa shortly, so that's going to be awesome. Mobile is a cool place, but it's a much smaller market than Tampa. We have probably 3 times as many viewers available in that market, so that's going to be really cool. And who knows where else. Our partners at the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers are hooking us up with their lawyers across the country to bring this television show to cities across the country. And so I'll be traveling to those cities. If I go on the air in Chicago, I'll see you all up there in Chicago. We'll come to the big toy drive in December, even though it might be freezing. If we end up in Kansas City, we'll come to the big Kansas City rallies, all that stuff. I love traveling all over the country, and I love riding my bike there. Actually, you may have seen my post yesterday about the really crazy schedule I have coming up. It's so crazy that I can't ride to everything because it's impossible to get there. So if I can remember it correctly, we're going to Myrtle Beach Bike Week, and I have to fly there because I have to be in Myrtle Beach until Saturday morning, and then be in Dallas that Saturday night to go to Rick Farrell's Strokers Dallas's birthday party and anniversary party for his motorcycle shop. And then I'll fly back here to home, and then we'll be riding up to Anniston, Alabama, which is about Talladega. You know Talladega, Ricky Bobby, shake and bake, yank first and last, all that stuff. There's an awesome place there called the Barber Vintage Motorcycle Museum. It's a motor sports park. Actually, it's a huge facility with a racetrack and all kinds of stuff. They have 4 stories of motorcycles. They have a basement full of vintage race cars, and they're going to let me ride on the track on my bike. You think that's a safe thing? You think I should do that? And we'll have to decide whether I'm actually going to do that or not. So then after we go to Barber, we're going to be riding down to Daytona Biketoberfest. So we'll be there for several days. And then I'm riding over to Orlando to visit with my friends with the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. And I keep saying their names because they're the ones who made it possible, really. That was the final step that made this possible for me to live my dream of riding motorcycles and telling stories. So I'm going to be talking about them a lot. And they really care about bikers. They're having a whole national convention there to talk about how their lawyers can help bikers who've had accidents and other problems too. That sound cool? Don't you wish it was summer so you could come with me? Yeah, it's too bad. The kids want to come, but they're in school, so we're not going to be able to do that. And then probably from Orlando, I'm probably going to be riding over to Tampa to talk to the folks over there to bring our show over to Tampa. So that's a little bit about what we're doing. I'm going to look at the comments and see if you'll have any questions or comments, because a real big part of what I've always done is interacting with you. That's why I want your videos for the show. That's how you guys know I'm always constantly responding to your comments and stuff on Facebook. So let's see, got a lot of people watching. Drew Nick said I should try Debris downtown. I have not been there, downtown Mobile. Drew Nix, by the way, is with the Red Clay Strays, which is an awesome Mobile band, but they're gonna blow up, believe me. Check them out. Just Google Red Clay Strays. Their music was in the last Stephen King movie, Doctor Sleep. So my Stephen King nerd meter is going through the roof because it's awesome that they're connected to that. Reese Wynn says, looking forward, happy for you, bro. Well done. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And it may be well done to me, but really the only reason I'm able to do this is because of you guys. When I go to a meeting and say, I have 300,000 people who ride motorcycles that follow me, people are blown away by that. And I know that's not nearly as much as some people like Adam Sandoval, who's awesome, but it's growing all the time, and it's thanks to you guys. When I tell people I have this kind of reach on the internet, and that's when that really opens the door to get them talking about sponsoring my TV show and all that stuff. Oh, and besides, while I'm mentioning this, if you have a small business or a business, especially in the Mobile area, but something that could be good for to be in our YouTube channel too, let me know. We're still looking for sponsors. We're very affordable. I won't get into the numbers here, but we totally are affordable for small businesses. Look, I want to help your business succeed while you help me succeed. I just noticed my really good friend David Spencer from Memphis is watching. Thanks, David. David and I did a lot of stuff there, especially with CVMA, the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. I remember one time he and I was like 100 pounds more than this, and he's a tall guy, he's a bald biker. We're sitting on Union Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee, two bikers selling lemonade. We raised about $700 or $800 for the MDA lockup. We both got locked up, so good to see you, Dave. And by the way, we will be coming to Memphis with the show for sure, one way or another, guarantee it. And we'll be back in Memphis shooting a lot of stuff. I love the folks at the Indian dealer there. Frank Barton's a great friend of mine, and the Bumpuses from all the dealerships in the Harley up there. And my friend John has JMP Cycles, so he's awesome too. If you roll through Memphis, check him out, or just check him out on Facebook too. More people from Australia, that's awesome. Florida, let's see. I think that's really about all for the comments, but what questions do you all have, and what suggestions do you have for the show? Comment and tell me what you think we should do in the show. We'll wrap this up in a couple minutes, but I'd really like to hear what you're saying. Kim says, hi, Allie.
Hi.
Kim is with Mobile Harley Davidson, who I need to give a shout out to, because although NAML is really the financial backer of this, Kim and Rob at Mobile Harley Davidson didn't hesitate. They said, yes, we're going to help you get the show in the air. So that's awesome. And when I go there, they always treat me like family when I go there, and so I really appreciate it. And if you happen to go into Mobile Bay Harley Davidson, tell them hi from Biker Dad, and just say, hey, treat me like Biker Dad. Give me the Biker Dad treatment, because they always do right by me. That's for sure. And while I'm waiting for your comments, a couple other people who really are a huge help for this there's an awesome custom motorcycle shop. It's only been open for a couple years in Pensacola, but they're huge, and they just bought a whole strip mall. They grow even more, called Cottonmouth Customs. And John, the owner, is an amazing guy, an entrepreneur, and also a biker, and was, again, one of those people who saw what we were doing and said, yeah, we want a part of that. We want to elevate the biker community. We want to elevate motorcycle safety and awareness. And what better way to get it in front of the eyeballs of some people who don't necessarily ride. They were awesome, and Trevin is one of the managers over there. I just walked into the store one day. They didn't know me from Adam. Gave him my card, talked to him for about an hour. We just had a great conversation. He said, you know what, my boss is going to be all over this. We met 5 minutes into the meeting. I was like, we're in, let's do it. So the quality that you see of this show is very high quality for something that two guys with the DSLR and an iPhone are shooting. You'll see tomorrow morning. But when we have these sponsors step up, they're also going to help us make the show better. It's going to make us be able to afford better equipment, afford to go travel, and all of those things. So that's awesome. Let's see what we got. I know there's a question in here. And thanks Kim for your support and your excitement. We definitely are excited. So CJ's asking, what advice do you have for new riders looking to join a veterans riding club? First off, if you're getting on the road for the first time, welcome. That's awesome. If you're younger, that's even better. We need a lot more younger people, especially in the Harley Davidson kind of culture. We need y'all. This is why Harley is making these bikes like the Pan America and this insane Sportster that's coming out pretty soon, is because they're really trying to attract the younger bikers, and we really need that. So that's cool. But there's all kinds of great veterans groups: the American Legion Riders, Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, all of those. The thing is that it's just like anything else, even like any other group organization. You want to come and say hi, Austin? They have different chapters, and every chapter is different, and some are better than others. This is my son Austin. That's Allie's twin, believe it or not, even though he's like a foot taller than her. So really just kind of hang out with the people at first, and if you're in a certain area and you want to hit me up and let me know about that, that would be cool. But really just kind of hang out with them for a while and see if they're your cup of tea. Generally, you can figure out hanging out with a group of guys for 1 or 2 hours whether or not they're the kind of people that you want to hang out with. Even if there's nothing wrong with them, they just may not be your cup of tea. Right, Austin? And my mama always said, and I've heard it a bunch of times, is you are who you hang out with. So keep that in mind. So when you go and hang out with one of these groups and you're not feeling the vibe, or you're like, that's not my kind of crowd, then listen to yourself and listen to your gut, and track down somebody else. Yeah, block that person. Spam text from Rose, who was saying inappropriate things. All right, any other questions about the show or anything else before we wrap this up? We are getting ready for the Caballeros Acero Riding Club anniversary party over in Grand Bay. My wife and I are about to head over there in a few minutes. We're looking forward to that. Those guys are a great group of guys. We started last year a partnership with them. The Biker Dad and Caballeros Aceros doing a toy run. It was awesome. It was a huge success, and we're going to do it this year again. And speaking of events, just please make sure and hit us up. And if you have an event, if it's a charity event, and it's not for profit, I will not hesitate to share it. But if it is for profit too, there are things that we do as well as far as helping get the word out on that too. So hit me up. If you're up for a little bit of paid endorsement of your event to get people out there. Again, if it's a charity event, I'm not going to do that. But if you want help getting the word out on a rally or something that's for profit, I can help you out too. All right, we have Deke. He says, "Good evening from Trenton, Georgia. Good to see the show up and going now. I'm in and out of the golf hauling campers, so I'm sure I'll see you. Yeah, hit me up, especially if you can be on a bike. So that's awesome." Yeah, Kim Tomko from Harley Davidson also says, "Ask your local Harley dealer. They know all the clubs and could probably make an introduction for you too." That's a good point. So that's awesome. I talked to my friend Juju the other day about the American Legion riders, and I had the impression, a lot of people have the impression that you have to be a veteran to be part of that, which is not the case. My uncle was in the Vietnam War, so I can be a son of the Legion and then a Legion rider. So I'm considering doing that. If you saw my video a couple weeks ago about the American Legion in Fairhope, Alabama, you can see why. The coolest American Legion on the planet. You've been there with me several times. Little tiki bar. They got a beach. I mean, most American Legions are really cool, but they're usually just a building in a strip mall or something. They have this historic mansion on the beach with the tiki bar. Now their building got damaged in a hurricane, so they're rebuilding that, and they could use your help with that too. But yeah, so I'm considering joining that if I can, if they'll have me, because it's just a beautiful place to hang out. Last two times I went there, I saw one of my favorite local bands, East LA Fadeaway, which is a Grateful Dead cover band. It's awesome to, I'll be honest here, have a little beer buzz in the day and watch a Grateful Dead band. So it was awesome. All right, let's see if we have any other questions or comments. CJ's asking if they still have the Patriot riders. By that he means the Patriot Guard riders, and absolutely they do. Now that I don't work for a living anymore, I'm getting a lot of opportunities to ride with them more. I always wanted to, but most of them are retired, and they're, these missions and funerals are just when they are. They might be on a Tuesday, and so a lot of the people my age and younger can't go because of work. But I will say that we need more people in those groups, more people to ride. We had a ride recently that had a couple hundred bikes, which was awesome. Kim's friend at Mobile Bay Harley Davidson who died, he was a veteran. We had a huge showing out for that, but most of the time it's 4 or 5 or 6 of us. And if you want, you can contact the Patriot Guard on their website. You can find the chapters there. Right after we get off of this, I will share a link to the Patriot Guard website, main website, and I'll let you know where all the chapters are. And really, what people don't realize about the Patriot Guard is there's not a membership per se. You don't have to go through any kind of initiation. You don't pay any fees, nothing like that. They do like you to go to the PGR website and register, and that's where you can also buy a patch and t-shirt or whatever you want if you want to have that when you go on the missions. But really, when we say we're PGR members, we're not really members, because there's no membership like a club. You just show up on your motorcycle or your car even and ride and show your support. Hold the flag, salute the flag, say the Pledge of Allegiance, salute the hero that we just lost and whose life we're celebrating. But again, that's another area where we need more younger people to get involved. If you have a fortune like I do of having a more flexible work schedule, and you can get out there on a Tuesday or a Wednesday and escort one of these heroes to their final resting place, please join us. There are 3 or 4 missions a week here in Mobile, Pensacola, Baldwin County, Alabama alone. And so we need as many people mounting up and riding for those as possible. And it's everything from, a younger person who may have passed away from something unexpected to World War II veterans. There's still a couple of those around. And we also have the honor of riding for some of those who are still alive. We had a touching event. Twice we've done it in the past year, where we did a parade to the William F. Green Veterans Home in Baymonette, Alabama. A couple hundred of us buzzed by there. Those guys get a kick out of it. They love it, and they appreciate the fact that everybody's thinking about them. Because remember, a lot of those guys in the veterans homes are still isolated from COVID, and when they see people come up and they can see them and wave at them and realize that people are there with them, even though they can't be with them, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty awesome. Yes, the PGR is alive and well, and please get involved if you can. Let's see, you got any other questions? Anybody have any questions about the show or any suggestions about the show? Places that you want us to come to? Hit me up on here, or send me a message. We're getting a lot of messages from people. Hey, you should be at the Ozarks this weekend. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm working with some friends to go there next year for that event. I'm kind of from Missouri, so I'm very familiar. It's beautiful this time of year with the leaves and everything. So looking forward to doing that. Adam Sandoval is having a huge event in Oklahoma next weekend, but I'm going to be on my way to Myrtle Beach. So that's something that if you happen to go to that, you can send me some video. That's awesome. And just smaller events too. We're going to be looking for people stories. If you have a great story or event that's a good story, you guys have seen that I'm following Wyatt's lemonade stand closely. He's a little kid who raised $32,000 for St. Jude Children's Hospital, selling lemonade this summer at Sturgis, which is pretty awesome. St. Jude's one of our favorite places. Allie and I have been there several times on events, and we love to support those folks. Yeah, Drew, we definitely need to ride to Red Clay Strays show. Sorry, I'm stumbling. Red Clay Strays, I'll say that. Awesome band. Yes, we need to definitely do that. Hey, and I hit you up about doing theme music for the show, so let's talk about that too, because I would love to have your guys' music and the opening of the show and a couple other spots, because you're one of my favorites, and you're also just really cool dudes too. So thank you for your support, and you'll always have mine. Yes, CJ definitely will be sharing tons of bike meets that I go to, and in fact, I'll be telling you where I'm going before I go there. So if you're around, come say hi to me. I just posted my itinerary for the last part of September and October, and it's pretty crazy, given that I'm going to be shooting all the stuff for the show. So you can look at that to see where I'm going to be. But I'll share your poker run in Albuquerque. I'll share your dice run in Minot, North Dakota, Binghamton, New York, wherever you are. My birthplace, Muskegon, Michigan. Somebody told me about a cool place there today. So would love to do that. And I want to do whole episodes of the show about traveling to these places. I lived in Texas for 8 years. I love Fort Worth and kind of Houston too, but Fort Worth was a lot better. So I get to go back there because of this. I get to go back there and not only see Dallas again for the first time in a long time, but to meet Rick Fairless. That's going to be just awesome. He's a legendary motorcycle builder, in case you've been living under a rock and you don't know what Strokers Dallas is. He's going to be joining us doing one of these lives on Facebook next week, and I'm positive that will get a lot more attention of viewers than this one, because everybody's here to see Alley Cat. I know, and not me. All right, any other questions? Bobby Taylor wants everybody to know about the Shady Brady Fallen Firefighter Ride in Sparta, Tennessee. It's in October. Bobby, send me the link to the event or the flyer, and I'll definitely share that. CJ, I'd love to pick my brain on some stuff. If you have some free time, anytime, hit me up, send me a direct message, and we'll figure it out. That's one cool thing that's really happened in all this, is that I'm getting a lot of messages from people about wanting to learn how I managed to take my passion for motorcycles and stories and turn it into a living. People who don't even, it's not even about motorcycles, it's about what they want, what they're involved in. And believe me, I'm no expert, but I am completely shocked that in 4 months we were able to turn this into a viable, looks like possibly someday very lucrative business. And it's just me on my motorcycle. So, I mean, wow, who could imagine that, right? I've been walking around this house mumbling and cussing for 4 years because I wasn't happy, right? And now I told, Allie heard me say this today, that I've been extremely successful in my career, but I've never been this professionally happy. And I got to tell you too, that I was talking about feeding my children earlier. Feeding their body is one thing, but I really think that what I've done has been inspirational to them. Am I wrong?
No.
So I feel like I'm feeding their souls a little bit too. You all know how cat.
I love you more.
You all know how cynical teenagers can be. Well, my oldest is getting ready to be 16, and dad's never cool enough, mom's never cool enough, little sister's not cool enough. But I could see in his eyes when we were talking about this stuff that he is proud and inspired by what I'm doing, and that means absolutely everything to me. And I could already tell, but he actually, wow, like shocker, said it out loud that he was proud and that he wants to follow in my footsteps and do this kind of stuff himself when he grows up. And so he's going to be interning on this show. A lot of this video you're going to see over this first season is going to be from my son Anthony shooting and editing. I have a friend DJ who's the main shooter and editor, but Anthony is just going to be he's going to be tagging along and learning the ropes. And like I said, that besides put away the fact that I'm going to actually be able to make a living at this, keep my house, feed my kids. But to see and just the normal, nothing wrong with it, your cynical 15-year-old son look over at you with beaming pride, and you haven't really seen him look that way at you since he was 7 or 8. That is just, if that's ever happened to you or you had kids, you know how that feels. And that alone is worth it. And it's worth it to see my children more happy because their dad is happier, and their mom is happier because their dad is happier. So that's a real huge part of this. And again, I cannot thank enough first the sponsors, National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers, Chris Klotz with Stevenson Klotz here in Mobile, Pensacola, motorcycle injury lawyers. Eagles Talon Martha is so awesome over in Pensacola. Eagles Talon Motorcycle Shop. Check them out online on Facebook too if you're not in the area. Mobile Bay Harley Davidson, again, Kim and Rob over there were the first to say, yep, we're doing this, let's make it happen. So thanks to them. Cottonmouth Customs Motorcycles. Bob's Downtown Diner with Tony is Sawyer, the owner, is definitely one of my best friends here in Mobile, and he jumped in it too. Check him out at cornerfatandhappy.com. And I think that right now those are the main advertisers. My friend Garrett, he has a place called the Black Sprocket Garage. He's actually going to be jumping in to advertise when he can, but he's also going to be helping me remodel my bike, repaint it, and that's going to be a big part of the show for the next month or so. And we'll be following that on the YouTube channel too. So look, again, this has been going on. I've been doing this for 7 years for free, and giving all of my content and all of the revenue from the hundreds of millions of page views and video views that I've generated for 2 TV stations. But to have these 300,000 people who follow me and comment and do everything every day is just amazing. And to be able to turn it into a living and spend more time with my family and spend more time on my motorcycle and doing the things I love is all because of you guys. I know there's only 11 people watching this right now, but that's okay too, because you guys are awesome, every single one of you. And that's it. So the big takeaway is hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel, please. 9:30 tomorrow morning on our YouTube channel, and if you follow us on Facebook already, there'll be a link scheduled for 9:30 in the morning. Watch the first episode of the Biker Dad TV show. It's going to be awesome, and the show's only going to get better and better and better. So thank you guys. Thank you, Allie. You want to say something?
Thank you for watching and supporting.
All right, yeah. So that's what it means right there. All right, we're gonna wrap it up again. Please hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. That's really, really important. So thank you for doing that, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. We'll do another one of these leading up to the show, and then we're gonna sit down as a family and watch the first show. And again, thank you all. Have a good day.